Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So our patience has paid off, and as you can see, the portal is alight with the lovely POGO pull one, get one hue. So we do have a chance to go for this double legendary event for Sacred Shards. We've been holding out for this purpose for a while now, and it has finally come to pass. Like I've said, there's not at least I haven't figured out a true pattern to these. It's roughly once every like 5 to 6 weeks, once a month-ish kind of deal, but that's not really like a hard fast rule, and it really happens randomly, so to speak. It could coincide with some other event, or it could just be in the middle of the week like this one is right now. So I try not to try and predict them. I just know that there's always going to be one eventually. So if I can preserve my mercy, spoiler alert, then we can participate in these. And in fact, let's start things off by talking about my mercy at the moment. So this is the mercy tracker that I have. Link in the description box down below if you'd like a copy of this for yourself. But as you can see here, we are in Sacred Mercy, only 2 shards deep, so it's not necessarily going to be an easy out here, but you know, somewhere in the realm of like 10-ish sacreds should be pretty reasonable in order to guarantee ourselves the double legendary. But it could be worse, could be better, who knows? We'll find out together in a few minutes here. But I also wanted to bring this up because I wanted to address something that you may or may not have noticed, but I did not have a video for the summon rush this past weekend despite me actually completing it, and that is because I actually I ended up pulling 3,500 mystery shards to complete that summon rush. I could have done 7 sacreds, although I didn't want to because of this exact reason. I knew there would be a POGO soon-ish, and so I didn't want to pull sacreds for that. I could have pulled voids, but I like, arbitrarily speaking, like to have above 200 voids at this point, and so I didn't want to go below it if I didn't have to, and so I just did 3,500 mystery shards. So I used to have like 17,000, and now I have 14,000. Not that it's a big deal or a big difference, but you know, I haven't really pulled mystery shards in bulk in a long time, and I was like, you know what, might as well save on the major shards because we want to preserve things. But yeah, so now we're in the situation where it will be beneficial, or I guess it's mandatory, to pull sacreds in order for this, but this is the situation that we prepared for. While we're here in the portal, we might as well take a look at the overall shard count on the account. 688 on the ancients, 209 on the voids. Like I said, I do want to maintain 200 if possible. Arbitrary number, there's nothing particular about 200. And then 47 on the primals, and then 63 on the sacreds, which of course we'll be diving into today. In terms of the wish list, because this is a POGO event, meaning we're going to get 2 champions, we cover my top 5 non-void legendaries. So the number 1 spot will be a Poison Exploder, Xavier Eleanor. Number 2 will be Molly Tankard. Number 3 will be Elva Autumnborn. Number 4 will be Duchess Lola 2. And number 5, a recent promotion, but it will be Martyr. Valkyrie has kind of worked for my hardened mode Fire Knight 10 tests, but I did witness a fail of the run just due to some bad RNG, which is exactly what I was looking for and why I was still testing the team. It has not become my core team, but I think Martyr would do a similar job to Valkyrie in terms of the counterattack and protection for the team to have the Fire Knight start with a lower turn meter after you break the shield, faultless defense, all that stuff. I think she'll be a little bit more useful and it'll make your team a little bit more survivable, so I would like her instead. But nonetheless, Valkyrie still definitely works, and she's still in my Demon Lord Clan Boss team, so she's still important on my account. But yeah, those are the top 5 non-void legendaries, at least at the moment. And then of course I do expect we're going to get a decent amount of epics along the way, so any and all duplicate epics for empowerment will be useful. So without further ado, let's dive right into the shard pulls. We've got a decent amount of space. Hopefully we can get it in 12 sacreds. I mean, I can make more space if needed, but I'm hoping we don't have to. That would be ideal. We have a decent amount of cash, and hopefully we get some pretty decent luck here. The other thing that would be somewhat beneficial is that we're still in the market for 10 out of 10 on a legendary faction guardian of any type. So duplicate legendaries in general would also be useful, just like duplicate epics. Ursine Ice Crusher, one of the worst epics in the game with the AoE decrease crit rate, one of the weakest debuffs in the game. Very, very useless champion, unfortunately. I don't really think they're in the market of doing epic buffs, but if they were, he would be one of the champions. Aina no good, as Hell Hades infinitely said. You know, the single hitter with the weaken, single hitter with decreased defense is just not that good. Extra turn on the A1. Maybe in like a specific Demon Lord clan boss, she can do a little bit of damage, but my expectations are pretty darn low. We got Ice Crusher's brother, Ironheart. He's the better bear, so to speak. It's AoE decrease attack, or here it is. AoE decrease attack was a little bit better. Faction War style champion if you really do need it, but I don't think most people really make use of him, particularly if you have Mighty Uko, who can do that job a lot better. Ambassador Lethalin, his kind of claim to fame is that he can place taunt on an ally, and I've only seen this used as far as like a troll team with a Mortu Macabre, where you place taunt on Mortu and you have to attack him, you activate his passive, and fun ensues. So 4 Sacreds down. This is kind of what I expected, since we're only 2 into Mercy, so I didn't expect it to immediately pop out of the first 5 here. But Fenshi, pretty decent Fire Knight champion, kind of like Allure light, so to speak, with this 2-turn cooldown ability here that has a 75% chance of decreasing turn meter by 15%. It's not as reliable as her A1, Allure's A1, that being, but nonetheless, he can be serviceable alongside her or in certain compositions depending on affinity. DQ speed, triple hitter on the A1, and then a 2-time hitter here that can scale with or ignore defense with the number of poisons on the target, and this places poisons itself. So triple hitter, and double hitter. Very, very strong Fire Knight champion for normal mode, and then a very strong Fire Knight champion for like Curse City, breaking the shield and whatnot. Theresk, very useless champion, but she does empower Rian the Conjurer, so we'll take that. That is effectively a duplicate, air quotes, epic for empowerment. Next Sacred here, Romero. People keep telling me that this guy is good after the buff. I don't see it. Sorry, apologies. He's still a food epic in my case, but continuous heal on all allies with the shield here, increased defense. I don't know. He's a support healer-ish champion, but I've never seen a use for him. But tell me if I'm wrong once again in the comment section down below. Visionary, one of the weaker epics in the Dark Elves, but she has AoE decreased defense, decreased crit rate, and then the inverse, increase crit rate, increase crit damage, turn meter fill. She can once again kind of fill the role of like a secondary speed booster if you're more in the early and the mid game, but other than that, she doesn't really do all of that much. Wow, I guess you know what, this is fair. We've been pretty lucky as of late, and so yeah, it looks like we're getting a string of bad luck here with just not hitting the legendary yet, but it's a POGO event, so we have to go all in or it's not worth it. So let's keep it going here. Ultimate Gaelic, one of the more underwhelming champions, but if you're really in the early game, he can be your AoE HP burner, albeit somewhat unreliable in terms of his capabilities there, but he can do the job. I used to use him way back then, but then I pulled other champions and he was usurped very, very quickly. So after this one, if we don't hit it, okay, we're definitely gonna have to make some space with just to make sure that we have room for both of the legendaries. Obviously, I think it'll just go to the inbox or something, but I'd like it to go to the champion collection here. But Adriel, there's not much to say about her, unfortunately. So 10 Sacreds in. This is probably the worst Pogo I've had in a while, but like I said, we were only 2 into Mercy, so now we are 12 into Mercy, so the odds are ever increasing. So within the next 5, statistically speaking, we should probably hit it, but that is not a guarantee by any means, as is proven by us still not getting it here. But I made like 15 more spaces, so we should get it by then, good god. But Chani, I think she's like one of those like promo code champions, but she's not really that good. I don't even know what she does, which kind of tells you everything you need to know. Legendary, okay, we got it. Rotos, sweet. That is Rotos number 4 for me, so I think that is actually 10 out of 10 for Undead Hordes, and another Foley. Okay, that is I think 8 out of 10 for Dark Elves, so double dupe here in this case. But let's start off with Foley. Again, he's a fairly underwhelming champion, so to speak, but nonetheless, he does have an AoE block revive. It doesn't hit as hard as you'd like it to, but as long as you kill someone, kill the nuker, that's all you really need, because block revive is block revive at the end of the day, unless the enemy has a Liddy or something like that. But yeah, definitely good for that purpose. And then Rotos, one of the best magic affinity single target snipers in the game. Extra turns on the A1, decreased defense, which is not that useful. You usually don't build it with accuracy. You can destroy max HP by 20% whenever he attacks, which in case anyone doesn't know, you typically want the amount he destroys is proportional to the target. And so in order to power up his A3, which we'll get to in a second, so ideally you use this on the tanks more so than the nukers, just because you will steal more of their HP at once, and thus it'll make it easier to come around with the A3 eventually and ignore unkillable, ignore block damage, and potentially block revive. This also grants an extra turn, 3-turn cooldown here, 2-turn cooldown here. So super strong nukers here, double nuker Pogo event. But yeah, let's just hop over there. What did it cost us in the end? I think 12 Sacreds, which is not bad. Again, 12 Sacreds for 2 legendaries, effectively 6 Sacreds per legendary. Not a terrible rate at all whatsoever, so definitely worth it in the end. So I think that is last undead horde that we needed. And believe it or not, Rotos was actually waiting here. I didn't really believe that I was gonna get another Rotos, but nonetheless, here we are. So I guess this is kind of a blessing and a curse, because it's great because this is the first faction that I've achieved 10 out of 10 on. So we get the 10 speed, which is great for Nekret. It is great for Morrigan a little bit, great for Vlad, great for Rotos, of course, and great for Sify, most importantly, 10 speed for her. However, I would really like to empower my existing Rotos, so we're gonna need some other pair of undead hordes in the future in order to start empowering Rotos. But this enables me to get at least 2+2 if we forfeit this slot by replacing it with someone else. And honestly, I don't even know who that could be. Who else do we have? Oh, like Battle Khazar could be good. Blood Gorge, don't use him. UDK, Mashal, Nethril. Okay, there's a ton. Fabian, recent fusion. Yeah, there's a ton of options who I just need to pull more duplicates of in the future. So believe it or not, look at that. So like Battle Khazar, Blood Gorged, even someone as potentially useless as Blood Gorged or Nethril, getting a duplicate of them would actually be super powerful for the purpose of this faction. So we'll take it there. Rotos is kind of effectively guaranteed to be +2 eventually, assuming good RNG that we pull from that particular faction. And then the other one is Foley, who we did get recently, and this is going to be the fourth copy of him. So he's a double duplicate along with the Rotos, another quad champion here. And 8 out of 10 for the Dark Elves. So that's more defense for, I honestly don't know who. I guess Mithrala, Lydia, maybe that's who that benefits the most, I would think, in terms of this faction who I actually use. Yeah, I mean, maybe Visix as well. But yeah, I guess the free Void Legendary corner here of Lydia, Visix, and Mithrala, that's who benefits the most. So okay, we'll take that. Hey, I'm not going to complain. I did throw it in there at the last second that any duplicate legendaries would be also useful, and particularly in the undead hordes, and we happened to hit it, so we'll take that. So we got two not new, but two legendaries who happen to help fill out the faction guardians. And I guess overall where things stand in terms of that. So 8 out of 10 here, Bannerlord, 6 out of 10, High Elves, 6 out of 10, Sacred Order, 4 out of 10, Barbarians, 0 out of 10 for Ogre and Tribes. Just there's not enough legendaries in that faction. I just don't have them either. 9 out of 10 for Lizardmen, 4 out of 10 for Skinwalker, 6 for Orcs, 2 for Demons, 10, our first 10 out of 10 for Undeads, 8 out of 10 Dark Elves, 6 Knights Rev, 2 for Dwarves, 3 for Shadowkin, 0 for Sylvan Watchers as well. All right, so there you have it. So that's going to do it for today's Shard pull session, and that 10 speed is literally massive on my account. So Sify here is now maxed out in terms of Faction Guardian, so she's finally broken the 350 speed threshold. So she's up there now with one of my fastest champions in the game, and she's in 8 pieces currently of protection. So pretty good. In terms of context for my fastest champions, my speed arena Lady Mikage here is 355, so she's just behind Mikage, which is very, very good. And then my Arbiter, fastest champion overall on my account, she is at 379, basically 380, because I do have a quad roll here recently acquired that I need to glyph. So she's really 380 something. I just don't have any more 6-star glyphs, unfortunately. But so yeah, she's up there with one of my fastest champions. I finally broke the 350 mark, and even then I still need to re-roll eventually. I'm out of dust at the moment, but I need to re-roll her boots into speed, and then I can have her, I guess, 360 speed. So I didn't actually anticipate getting the Undead Horde faction complete legendaries in the near term, but hey, RNGesus was on our side for that one. So once again, not going to complain. 2 duplicates, but 2 useful duplicates. Let me know in the comment section down below if you were also participating in this Sacred POGO event, and let me know if you got something good and or useful for your account or progression in the comment section down below. As always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel, and feel free to hit that subscribe button down below as well for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.